the roadway, the A1A. They did that because they want people to cross in certain areas.
Hello guys, I'm on
It's
a
not
water
military
taxi.
zone. We're just setting up barricades. We don't want Fort Lauderdale to be what Miami is. Lawless. Lawless. So, anyway, you're here on spring break, I'm assuming? Yeah. You're reliving your spring break? You're going to get your back tattoo this time? All right. Stop number 5 and 6 is the stop for that. Other than that, Fort Lauderdale is getting a little snooty. It's getting a little high priced and whatever, but there's some nice steakhouses. There's Shima, there's Moxie's. If you're from Canada, you know what that is. There's YOLO. By the way, I'm going to pass around a brochure. It has all the different restaurants and bars that give discounts. If you went to YOLO, which is a really nice restaurant at stop number 1, they have seasonal food, whatever's in season, whether it's vegetables or fish that are running right now. They give 10% off the entire meal.
Oh, it's raining.
There's other restaurants that give 15% off the entire meal, not drinks. That restaurant right there, Tiki Tiki, they give 10% off. It's a little hard to get to, but it's actually a fun restaurant. Boat Campers does buy one drink, get one free. I don't know if I said that or not. Even if you guys aren't on water taxi tomorrow, they will still honor all the discounts that they said in the brochure. So if you didn't use them today, no problem. Use it tomorrow. You'll make your 40 bucks back in no time. Whoever suggested that you guys take water taxi, you should be buying them a drink, because there's no better way to see this city than by the water. This is the Venice of America. We have city planners in the 1920s designed Fort Lauderdale with Venice as their model. So all the canals that were built, they're the same width apart. They're different lengths. They're the same width apart and the same depth apart. We have over 300 miles of waterway in Fort Lauderdale. That's why we are the yachting capital of the world. There's over 50,000 boats that are registered in Fort Lauderdale. So you're doing the right thing by seeing Fort Lauderdale by the water, by water. So kudos to whoever taught you to come here on the water taxi. All right, if you see all the construction equipment on the left-hand side of the boat, they're not building high-rises. We have enough of them. They're actually ripping out this entire area to correct a mistake. You see the tallest trees? They're called Australian pines. So somebody planted this many years ago. I've heard 2 stories. Some people said that it was a very attractive tree, and they planted them because they thought it was beautiful. Other people said that they wanted to dry up the swamp areas. So this was a poor choice, because now we find out that these trees grow taller than the mangroves. They lean over the trees and they block the mangroves from absorbing the light on their leaves. So the mangroves are growing at a stunted rate, and that's not good. So all this construction is to rip up this entire area to replant mangroves, because they're that important. So what happens is, when a fish lays eggs, the eggs develop within the root system of the mangroves, and they're protected from bigger fish. And once they become bigger, they go out into the open waters. Another thing is we get oxygen from the mangroves. Another reason is when storms come, or you see these boats pass, the shoreline gets thrashed between winds and water waves from the wake of other boats. So the mangroves actually protect this area. Wildlife loves this area. There's totally number of endangered birds that are in here is amazing. Also, the American Indians used to call it the walking tree. You'll see, because the roots reach down. These are red mangroves that we're passing right now. So all this construction is to correct a mistake.
Probably gonna get copyrighted because the music in the background. maybe I can try and
Take out the
yeah, take out the audio. I'll take out parts of the audio because I speak and
All right, if you guys own a yacht and you come down this canal right here, this is where all the craftsmen are. This is where you're going to get your yacht taken out of the water if they need to work on the hull or the propellers at any length. They have the equipment to lift up huge yachts. All the craftsmen are here, and that's the reason why they call this the yachting capital of the world. If you needed the teaks redone, or you needed any LED lighting, navigation equipment, all the craftsmen are there to help you out with that more than any other city in the world. If you guys look at this blue boat right here, this ship is getting its hull loaded with a container right now. The thing that's upright, that's the deck of the ship. They actually lifted the deck of the ship upright. Now they're placing the cargo within inside the hull. Then they're going to lay those decks flat and then load on top of that. So each of these cranes, we used to call this cranes when I was a kid, now they call them low profile gantries. Each of these cranes are $13.5 million. We ship steel to China. China sends us these cranes for $13.5 million. And when they arrive at our shore, they're fully assembled. There's nothing for us to do except put them on the dock itself. So just the other month, this blue crane that you see, there's going to be 3 of them off on our side. 3 of these cranes came on the back of a ship. It took 2 months for the ship to leave China, arrive here. Those things are fully assembled. That would not be a ship that I would want to be on. And then once they got to the seawall, they filled the hull with water, and the ship lowered itself to the height of our dock. And then they pulled these massive structures off the deck of the ship onto our Port Everglade port with hydraulics. Hey, you see these containers here?
oh, the brace is out.
These ships can be loaded up with anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 containers. It's both in the hull and on top of the ship. And the top 2 layers, when they're finally finished loading it, the top 2 layers are never battened down. They're never tied down. Because when the ship lifts from one side to the other, they want the containers to fall off rather than lose the entire ship. So it's pretty amazing that somebody actually thought of that. They say over 1,600 to 2,000 containers are lost every year around the world because they just fell over, and they'll never retrieve them.
That's the discount layer.
That's a discount. Actually, they had sneakers on the top layer that fell off. The sneakers got out of the containers, and they floated to different shores at different times. They learned more about ocean tidal surge and tidal circulation, ocean currents, than any other scientific project they've ever come up with, because the sneakers showed up at different times and they were able to calculate what the